Don't nobody else find it weird that right after Roe versus Wade was overturned because they was presumably one race of women wasn't having enough babies and then the other race of women was having too many babies, all of a sudden it's a full-blown fucking gender war between black men and women all across.
Hits her multiple times. The employee yells, "Don't, get over there," then grabs her.
So she showed me the tablet and the
Pussy going for the boys. Come suck a bitch toe.
Oh, hell no.
I think from here on out, anytime a guy approaches me, I'm going to just give them all the cons about me. I'm going to give them the pros and the cons, but I'm going to give them the cons first. Just
because men will sit here and tell you, this is how we think. You guys will say, no, it's not. This is how you think. But you're a woman telling men how we think. We're literally telling you, this is how we think.
Right.
What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again. Always with another one. So yeah, we got the daily wrap-up crew out here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them. Real talk. They're talking to Dr. Umar Johnson, and yeah, obviously this has been going viral all over, you know what I'm saying, the YouTube spaces and things like that, you know what I'm saying, and you know, this is a basically heated debate about the situation that we're having in the black community here, you know, amongst the men and the women, and yeah, so hey, hold on, hey, let's quarter, nickel, and dime it. Like we always do.
America, there's somewhere else. In Africa. Absolutely. So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like, if you feel
I
like
tell sisters all the time go to Africa.
So
I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with a sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never get married, I've taken
sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So yeah,
I think there's plenty. I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black women. So
and what I also tell black women, if you're going to go get you an African man from the continent, you're going to have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Why the fuck is it tolerated? It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us, though. Because we try to...
Hold on. What the hell?
What the French toast is there to think about?
I'm going to stop it right there. See, you know, okay. We, you know, over in Africa, the men over in Africa, they won't tolerate it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I mean, I'm just saying. They're not going to tolerate it over there. Then what the hell we do? You know, just like we screaming over here, we're not going to tolerate it too. Regardless of what, we're not going to tolerate it either. So, you know, hey, okay, let's keep going.
Act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself. Although imperfectly, she's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down.
Hold up. So
what
because...
the French toast is there to think about?
So because the system actually, you know, provided a way to manipulate the black community at a certain point in history, you know, which gave our women, you know what I'm saying, which gave our women resources to opt out of marriage, commitment, duty, honor, and respect, you know what I'm saying, which gave our women agents to opt out. We're supposed to be responsible for this. Now, I'm not saying that there haven't been men throughout the history, you know what I'm saying, the past, you know, 50 to 60 years that have not slacked on their job. I'm not saying that at all, okay? I'm not saying that at all, because there have been. But at the end of the day, it has not been the mass majority of men that have slacked off on those jobs, which taking care of the family, doing their due diligence to, protect, provide, do all the things that need to be done.
Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be your man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back, I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is, black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that, and then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
Hey, hold on. Why do I need to be patient? Why do I need to be patient? When clearly you just said that, you've helped sisters to get married to men in Africa. And at the same time, though, too, you also tell women in the United States that when they go over to these foreign countries to get black men, that at the end of the day, though, you can't come over there with that same mentality that you do have over here with the black man here.
Think about.
Okay. So cool, fine. Fine. Okay, fine then. She could go over there and have that automatically through some fucking miracle. You know what I'm saying? She don't have that attitude with a man that's originally from an African continent. That's still, from still in the African continent. But over here in America, she has to give us her issues, her problems, her dean badass excuses, her sorry ways of living. You know what I'm saying? Her excuses for going out and, having babies by 100 men.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Her excuses of being, promiscuous and she just running around, feeling like she can do whatever she wants to, But then, when it comes to the original, African man, she has to escape all that. She has to subdue all that to, it's okay. It's okay for the African man. It's okay for him to get the proper treatment. But then, too, you want the American black man to, deal with all the trauma and strife and all this woo-to-woo-ness. We're just supposed to deal with this and still protect, provide, and pay all the goddamn bills. Okay.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And
hold up, that's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Hold on.
Bitch, you're a Dorito. You was never chose. You're a Dorito, bitch. And you're mad that you're not chose. And you never will be chose.
What is your damaged muscle head? You stupid? You ignorant, or you just plain old deaf?
That's a damn lie. You mean to tell me that the vast majority of black men are out here, engaged in illegal activity? They're selling things that they're not supposed to sell. They're doing things that they're not supposed to do. The vast majority, no. There are men out here that are working hard to provide for not only themselves and are capable of providing for a decent ass woman. There are. But at the end of the day, though, you know what? Guess what? That's boring. That's boring. Because she's so used to something that tickles her fucking fancy and things like that, that she can't deal with a normal life. And I'm supposed to be able to deal with that? No, I'm not gonna have to deal with that. Period. What are you talking about? And don't get it wrong. I have nothing against Dr. Umar. He has great points in certain things and stuff like that. He's a very highly intelligent brother. You know what I'm saying? He has great points. But the thing of it is, in this factor, you're going to tell me that at the end of the day, you will send sisters to the African country, the motherland, and tell them that no, when you go to the motherland, the men over there are not going to tolerate your attitude, your stupidity. But then no, too, the men in America, the black men in America, are supposed to be held accountable for their inadequacy.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
It makes no sense.
Why is she gonna end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us. We have not been on our job as black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community?
Hold on here. My gripe with this is that if the women are the teachers of the culture, hold on. If the women are the first teachers of the culture, what the hell are we talking about?
And what the French toast is there to think about?
If the women are the first teachers of the culture, then whose job is it to teach the children to go the right way? The mother. Whose job is it to teach that young daughter to gravitate to the right man? Whose job is it for the mother to teach his son you need to go off with your father and let him talk to you?
What the French toast is there to think about?
Because that's how I was brought up. You know what I'm saying? The women in my family, listen, look, my mother, real talk, at the end of the day, when it came time, she actually turned me over to my father, how it's supposed to be done.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Her nurturing years were over. It was time for me to be under my father's wing. And at the end of the day, she submitted to that fact, and she gave me to my father, who taught me what I needed to know.
I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father, but guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she's not humble enough? She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs to be
more selective. If we was loving our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of...
You're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta ask her that.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection.
Why?
Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them.
Hold on.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Hold on. When you have most of these mothers that are out here pretty much graping the children away from their fathers. Let's just look at the statistics. Come on, people. Listen. You know what I'm saying? When you have most of the mothers that are actively keeping the children away from their fathers, in some cases, I'm not saying all. I'm never saying all. I'm never saying all, because it's not all women that does this. But at the end of the day, I understand the mentality of where he's coming from, though, that even though it's not all, the majority that does it equals up to the problems that we have. Let's just go there. It does. But at the same time, though, too, it's a problem when you want to sit here and actually, you know what I'm saying, try to, blame men or blame men specifically or blame women specifically, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to it, tit for tat, we all kind of at fault.
What the French toast is there to think about?
And as a group of black people in this nation, the United States of America, as a group of black people in this nation, we're kind of all at fault to a degree. And that's just is what it is. It's no way to have successful families, to have successful unions, unless everyone is involved in trying to keep the community stable and trying to keep the community alive, to keep the covering that needs to be had in order for the next generation to thrive and survive. Okay. All right.
That's why she with Pookie. If we never allowed Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right, that still don't give me a right to disrespect her, because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect.
Hold on. Hold on here. I'm supposed to tolerate disrespect from another human being, and I'm not even going to get into gender on this. I'm not even going to do that. I'm supposed to tolerate disrespect from another human being just because of what they've been through or what they're going through and things like that. I don't expect these people to own up for their part in the situation that they've actually engaged in most cases.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
In most cases. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that. Because being held accountable, is, as a young man, I didn't have a fighting chance and this and that. So, I went out and started robbing people, or I went out and started selling drugs, or I went out and started doing things I need to do to, get this and that and woo the woo and stuff like that. Even though it hurt other people. It put other people at a disadvantage, the things that I was doing to other people to gain things for me and mines. To gain things for me and mines, I put other people at a hurt and a disadvantage, but at the same time, no, too, I'm not supposed to be held accountable for that. Somebody better tell me something.
What the French toast is there to think about?
But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
There's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources,
okay,
and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash. He's shining a little bit more. His access to money is quicker than mine's. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, no, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
And if you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why
not have that same energy for women? You just again, you have
because
the man
we having a conversation as men.
Yeah,
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
All right,
but as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. No. As men, we should be concerned of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow. That's the only, that is where we should be focusing.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
She can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision. It's only up to her.
If you don't put a seed in her, nothing else happens. And no woman can make you put a seed in her. So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True. I mean,
all right. So did black men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
All right. So how, if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault, how are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why.
Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make. Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay.
It's an argument that says, I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative. That's
not what we're making excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my
go
life.
Back to what I said.
Hold on.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
If the women of the culture are the first teachers of the child, it's her job and her duty to make sure that at certain points she puts her girl children and her male children in the proper places to where they can learn. And what I'm meaning by that is that at the end of the day, though, as a woman, you teach your girls how to be a lady. And at the same time, though, too, you give your male children over to their fathers, and the father is supposed to teach those male children how to be a man.
What the French toast is there to think about?
Now, if you're going out, and this goes both for male and female, if you're going out and you're having offspring with the individual, or you're just in lust and you're just shooting up the club and things like that, I'm just saying, with an individual that you don't properly know, that you haven't vetted properly, that you haven't understood what type of background they come from, you don't understand what type of thinking that they have, you don't know these people 100% because you haven't vetted them properly, because vetting takes time. Vetting doesn't happen in 2 to 3 weeks. Vetting doesn't happen in a month or so. Vetting doesn't happen in 6 months. Vetting happens over a year plus.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
So you can see the ups and downs, the seasons that everybody goes through, the ups and downs, basically. This is life. The reason why most people back in the day, before all this technology and things like that kicked in, the reason why, and I'm going to wrap it up, the reason why, back in the day, most people got married in high school and college and things like that, back in the day and stuff like that, especially because neighborhoods were, communities were tight-knit back then. most men and women grew up around the individuals that they got married to. Okay? And by doing so, you knew these people growing up your whole life. You knew their families, they knew your family, things like that. They knew what you've been through, they have not been through, things like that. It just is what it is. And this is the point. Hold on. By growing up in such a way, you know, you knew what you was going to get into when you married that man or that woman. You knew what you was going to get into.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Or not get into. You knew what type of family these individuals come from. Nowadays, we don't have that structure, especially in the black community. We don't have that structure of dynamic over here in America to where we know that, you know what I'm saying, Keisha, you know what I'm saying, she come from such and such Keisha Jones, she come from the Jones family. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Jones family always been an upstanding family, you know what I'm saying? So we know that our son, you know what I'm saying, our son, the Taylors or whatever, you know, let's just keep it, okay, there we go. You know, our son, the Taylor, you know, he could marry Sister Keisha and things like that. And, you know, I know what type of family they come from, and Keisha's family know what type of family Taylor come from, and things like that. And they could, you know, work together and build a bond.
What is there to think about?
And build a true bond. This is our problem nowadays. Our families have no structure. So it's no way that a family could outsource the marriage if the family has no structure in the first place. It's no way that you can do that. You can't outsource a marriage. You know, and that's how marriage pretty much goes. You know, all this new age stuff of, well, I'll find somebody to marry later on down the line and things like that. No. Marriage is meant to start young. When you are in your late teens, 19, 20, things like that, you already need to have prospects in your life that you know that you could marry, be consistent with, because your family knows their family. You know what I'm saying? Their family knows your family.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
That's how it works. But it is what it is, though, man. Hey, shout out to all my subscribers out there. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you ring that bell, that you're notified whenever I decide to post things. But it is what it is, though, man. And like I always say about this time, that, my friends, is the bottom line.